Now, I'll share a little story about what happens in Afghanistan when they wanted to antique a carpet. They laid it out in the street and had cars run over it. Because Americans love antiques. They don't want a new carpet, so they make it old by running the cars over it. And I always thought I would have a tire that had some nails on it, and it would roll right up on my tire, and off I go with the carpet.
That's good. Oh, that's a good story.
Oh, I have lots of stories, but... Okay, any other questions? Well, enjoy what you see here.
Well, I do have one, sorry.
Yes.
Lace, okay. So how do you actually, in fact, do you just pull apart the cozy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I make a sheet. Sometimes it has, do you know about making the paper? Well, you can block off anything you want.
Yeah.
On the paper. So I block off certain areas, and then I pull the sheet, and the paper doesn't form there. And so that's how I do that. There.
They're exquisite, these lace papers.
Yeah. Well, and I have lots of other lace papers. I have pieces that go in the window, too. And we thought a little bit about putting window pieces up, but there's something, I didn't want to block that, like there. So, but if anybody's interested in window pieces, I have window pieces that have imagery in them, like maybe Mayan symbols, or there's some pieces here that have I Ching symbols. If you look carefully, well, I can't find it here now, but it's over here, right here. See those lines?
Oh yes,
They're all over I Ching. And here, there's some. They're kind of put vertically, but that doesn't matter.
I see your spirals in there too.
Yeah, there's spirals
all
and so
kinds
on.
of things.
And some of them are more complicated. I think that between the computers, they're more complicated. There's a lot of stars. In water, there's water. You know, that kind of thing.
What about your journals? Do you take them with you wherever you go?
Yes,
always.
yes. I had a friend who, I don't know whether you know Steve Panisi, but he runs the ad agency up in Selma. And he came down to shadow me summer before last because he likes my lifestyle. And so he followed me around for 10 days. And so every morning we'd get up and he'd say, well, what are we doing today, Richard? And by the end of the time, I got a little tired of this. Why don't you think of something to do today? But we did a lot of interesting things. We went off hiking and went to Sanatista Village, and we did exciting kind of things like that. We were the only foreigners there at the time. And Steve is short. Do any of you know Steve? Well, he's kind of shorter than I am, but in this Mayan village, he was tall. He says, I like this place. He says, I'm tall here. Because the Mayans are all short kind of people.
So did you start him on a journal also?
No, I didn't start him on a journal, but he came back and he does paint all the time now. And he takes classes and so on, and he tells me every time I see him how he gets up in the morning and paints, and he paints, weekends he goes off and takes a painting class someplace or something like that, and he really wants to do more of that and less of the ad agency work. Maybe I'm telling you a little secret of his.
Have you ever thought of doing really big works on stage or anything?
Oh, big work on stage. Well, I have thought of it, Jess, because in India I saw a fabulous exhibit once, and it was paper but different from this, and it was the whole stage was large pieces of paper, and the audience was invited to walk up on the stage and and there was poetry being written or read, and there was music in the background, and you'd see the shadow of people walking around and so on.
Yeah. Something
And so-
like that over there at a large scale would be amazing. Dance.
What's that? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I did Jimena Lansky. Anybody know Jimena? She's a dancer up in Camden area. And she and I did a collaboration a long time ago with some big pieces of paper.
Did you enjoy it?
So, yes, there's only so much time you have, you know. And for many years, you know, I taught math. I'm kind of freed up with Social Security these days, but generally I've had to teach, you know, to make enough money. And I would say any artist should always think about teaching, you know, in order to supplement their income. I've made much more teaching paper and so on than I ever did selling stuff. But you might get it lucky, but I'd say...
Richard, you might tell people that you also conduct workshops at your studio.
Oh, yes.
Classes.
I do. I'm really sort of jammed up at the moment, though. I've been getting a lot of calls recently, and I'm doing some workshops up in Lewiston, anybody up that area. But I do it at my studio too, and I just take 3 or 4 people at a time. I don't have a lot of space, and I always ask whoever comes, do you have some friends? And so we get 3 or 4 people together, and then I'll arrange a workshop for it. And the other questions, and you kind of learn how to make these kind of.
Thank you.
There's a great crowd here today.
Thank you. I think you deserve a hand. This is
Oh,
wonderful.
okay. Well, we'll do a little Native American activity here at the end, and so everybody raise their hands and everybody be quiet. And this kind of energy is great in this with these people. Okay, reach up high. Some of you aren't reaching up high enough. Okay. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Great. And you enjoyed it.